You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. Leadership, Building Great Teams, Part 3. The third thing to look for in looking for people to bring into your teams, to bring close to you, people you're going to invest in, is this great virtue called gratitude. Gratitude changes everything. It's an amazing quality. It's the glass is either half empty or half full scenario. When people live in this gratitude mode, it leads to wholeness, and that then leads to generosity. If you're grateful for things, you hold them lightly in your hand, and you freely give as well. Scripture says that it's much better to give than receive. What that means is that there's no problem with receiving things. Some people do have a problem with that. But be a giver beyond that, even 51% if you like. And I really believe that gratitude is the bedrock for that. It's a life of thanksgiving. It's a life of seeing the great things, the blessings that come your way, despite all the other stuff that can come. To illustrate this, let's pretend there is an event at someone's house during the week, like a small group or a birthday party or something like that. Everyone turns up on time at the person's place, but the person has forgotten that the event's going to take place, and they're not even there. So there's two reactions that people can have. One of absolute disappointment, and they can result in being very upset. The other reaction is this. So someone comes along with gratitude in their heart and say, don't worry, there's a trampoline there, there's a barbecue we can get going. I'm sure the people won't mind if we use their facilities. They know where the key is. Other people are sent out for food for the event. And then everyone comes together and they have a wonderful time. A disaster has been turned into something really good. And here's the issue. An ungrateful person never really gets healed or is made whole. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that someone in that mode is never satisfied. They're always complaining, always negative, always ungrateful. You can never ever do enough for them. It's just a black hole. You try and do something and it's never enough. There was one time when 10 lepers approached Jesus, or came as close as they could, and asked him to heal them. He actually did. He said, go your way, you are healed, and show yourself to the priests so that they can verify that they'd been healed. But get this, only one came back to thank him. Jesus said, well, there were 10 of you, weren't there? Where's the other 9? And then Jesus said something astonishing. He said, go your way, be made whole. That was a different word than the previous one he'd used for healing or cleansing. This one meant salvation. This meant the whole self was made whole. Quite incredible. That's why we've said that gratitude leads to wholeness. A person becomes healed and satisfied. The last of the 4 virtues, when you're looking for someone to join your team or to become a leader, is fruitfulness. What is their fruit? What up until this point have they been producing in their life? What impact have they got? Is it something that's good and lasting or something that's not so good? I love the Passion Translation of Matthew 7, and I'll read it out because I think it's worth listening to. Matthew 7 verse 15 to 20. Constantly be on your guard against phony prophets. They come disguised as lambs, appearing to be genuine, but on the inside they are like wild, ravenous wolves. Well, you can spot them by their actions, for the fruits of their character will be obvious. You won't find sweet grapes hanging on a thorn bush, and you'll never pick good fruit from a tumbleweed. So if the tree is good, it will produce good fruit. But if the tree is bad, it will bear only rotten fruit, and it deserves to be cut down and burned. Verse 20, look at the obvious fruit of their lives and ministries. I'll say it again. Look at the obvious fruit of their lives and ministries. Then you'll know whether they are true or false. Great stuff. Now, I'm not saying that these people are false prophets, but you certainly can tell a person by their fruit. I remember some years ago living in a city, and there was a group of pastors and ministers who were concerned about another church that seemed to be doing things much differently with their style of running church and stood on people's toes at times. But they were producing very sound Christ followers from their ministries. And so my plea to the other pastors who wanted to do something about it was to let them alone, because their fruit is good. And that's how you can tell when you're not sure about other things with regard to people. God bless you.